the cartridge, the hidden stash, whatever it was. Your heart is pounding, you're furious, and you're scared. And you know that what you say in the next 10 minutes could either open a door or slam it shut for years. Let's make sure you get this right. Welcome to the Single Parenting Reset Show, the go-to podcast for single parents of tweens and teens who want to manage screen time, strengthen communication, and build stronger family connections. I'm your host, Tess Connolly, parent and family coach, licensed clinical social worker, and a solo mom to a teenage son. Hi, I'm Tess Connolly. Welcome back to the Single Parenting Reset Show. So today we are going to be talking about one of the most urgent, most searched, and most anxiety-producing moments in parenting tweens and teens right now. Finding out your kid is vaping or experimenting with substances. This one requires both your clinical parent brain and your connected parent heart. And I want to give you both today. Here's what you'll take away today. 1, why the immediate reaction most parents have actually closes down the communication you need most right now. 2, what the research actually says about how these conversations need to go to reduce ongoing use, not just to get compliance in the moment. And 3, a conversation framework that is firm and keeps the door open because you need both. This is a big one. Stay with me. The moment you discover your child has been vaping or using substances, your nervous system responds the way any loving parents would, with fear that is dressed up in anger. That anger is completely understandable, but it is unfortunately the exact state that tends to produce the conversation that makes things worse. Here's what the research says. Studies on adolescent substance use, including landmark work from the National Institute on Drug Abuse and researchers like Dr. Lisa D'Amour, consistently find this. The quality of parental communication after discovery is one of the strongest predictors of whether teen substance use escalates or decreases. Teens who feel shamed, interrogated, or lectured after discovery are significantly more likely to hide their behavior better and continue using. Teens who experience what researchers call authoritative responses, these are firm, warm, curious, and clear, are significantly more likely to actually change their behavior. I want to say that again because it matters so much. How you handle this conversation is a stronger predictor of what happens next than the punishment you assign to them. Hi, dear ones. I'm taking a break out of this episode to give you an opportunity to come join the family. What I mean is that when you join my email list, you are not only going to get a copy of my Tech Reset Agreement, which is one of the most coveted pieces of information that I give out to parents when I start working with them. In every family, I hear about the conflict with our screen time and devices, and I've got an amazing agreement I've been using with my son since he was about 8 or 9 years old. So I'd love for you to get that, as well as being on my email list, where you're going to get tips and strategies and stories each week. You'll hear about all the different podcasts, and it's a way for us to connect in a different way outside of this podcast. So click the link right below the show notes, and I will see you on the inside. Now, here's the single parent layer around this that no one is talking about. Without a co-parent to process with before walking in, you are doing this in real time, alone, with your own fear fully activated. No one to say, let's talk before we go in. No one to be the calm one while you're not, just you. And a discovery that shook you and your teenager on the other side of that door. So here is what I want you to give yourself, if at all possible, a window. Not days, maybe hours. Enough to breathe, enough to get out of the reactive state, enough to decide, what do I actually want this conversation to accomplish? Because there are 2 goals here, and they need to happen in the right order. Goal 1 is safety. Goal 2 is the relationship. If you lead with punishment before you establish safety and connection, you risk losing access to both of them. So here is the conversation framework. I call it acknowledge, ask, and then assert. Acknowledge first. Start with what you're feeling underneath the anger, which is fear and love. Something like, I'm not going to pretend that I'm not upset, But more than upset, I'm scared because I love you and this stuff has real risks. So I need to talk with you about what I found. You've named the emotion accurately. You've named love as the driver and what's underneath and what's most important. And you've set a serious but non-combative tone. Ask second. Before you lecture, ask. I want to understand what's going on. Tell me about it. And then, this is the hard part, you listen without interruption. What you're listening for is the function the vaping or the substance is serving. So is it stress, social belonging, boredom? The function tells you what the intervention actually needs to address. If it's stress, lecturing about lung damage doesn't solve the problem. So assert is third. After you've listened, you state clearly your values, the specific health risk, and the consequence for continuing to use a substance. Be factual, not catastrophizing. Research shows that clear, specific information is more effective than extreme scenarios, which teens dismiss as exaggeration. Here's something that you can say. Here's what I know about what's in these and what it does to a developing brain. I'm not willing to look the other way on this. And here is what changes are going to start happening now. Specific, grounded, non-negotiable, but not explosive. Ongoing presence is more protective than any single conversation or any punishment. So here's what you're carrying out of today's episode. 1. How you respond to discovery of any substance use is a strong predictor of what happens next than the consequence you give, and fear as anger closes the door you need most. 2. As a single parent responding in real time without a co-parent, giving yourself a few extra hours before the conversation can change everything. 3. Acknowledge, ask, and assert. A framework that lets you be firm and connected at the same time, which is exactly what the research says works. So this is one of the hardest parenting moments there is. And you don't have to navigate this alone. If you want to talk through what has happened in your home and figure out your next specific steps, book a 45-minute parent reset call with me. This is exactly the kind of conversations that I have with parents. The link is in the show notes. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for tuning into the Single Parenting Reset Show. Remember, I'm here with you twice a week. Every Tuesday, I answer your questions about parenting tweens and teens, real-life challenges with real reset strategies. Every Thursday, I bring you conversations with experts and guests who get what it's like to raise middle and high school kids on your own. And hey, if screen time has become a daily battle in your home, because let's be real, it is for most of us, I've got something to help. Grab my Tech Reset Agreement. It's a simple guide to help you create a clear, calm plan around screens without being the screen time police. Just click the link in the show notes and get your copy. Your reset starts now. Until next time, keep going. You're not doing this alone. I'm right here alongside you.